Welcome to the video, everyone, that will completely transform the way you approach your home makeovers. I'm Anna, by the way, nice to meet you, and I make the design process creative, flexible, and simply limitless. I also draw for dream brands, and today we'll actually be combining both worlds in a 3D approach called iPad design and spatial drawing. We'll be redesigning my small home office, well, one of its corners to be more precise, because I need more storage in this room. Currently, all of the things are laying around rather randomly, and I only have like one basic shelf for my key and that's all. The other drawer will be sold in the next few days, so we need a design solution ASAP. And my first and probably final choice is this style of shelving. I love how practical they are with great design, and the shelving system suits my home office perfectly. But the question is, how do we test all of those options super fast in real life before spending thousands only to realize that we bought the wrong thing? So to avoid exactly that, I want to show you the most genius and brilliant alternative to all of those time-consuming, inflexible, and average-looking computer renders. Let me quickly show you what my current home office looks like. This is where I draw, design, film my YouTube videos and classes for my drawing academy, and our YouTube video for today is on pause because I wanted to quickly show you around before diving into the design process. Speaking of which, this is the corner where I'd like to install one of those shelving systems, because as you can see, I definitely do need more storage space, as all of these things are literally randomly laying around, and the only storage option I have is this basic IKEA drawer. And this is why I'm so excited about one of those shelving systems, because it's gonna be both practical and stylish. Oh, and later in this video you'll be seeing more of this genius wall organizer, which is from Vitro. So see you in the next part of the video. Time to start the drawing process, everyone, so get your iPads ready, because I'm about to show you your new favorite 3D approach, after which you might ditch computer renders forever, just saying. Now let me walk you through the entire design process. So first we're going to start by raising all of our walls in 3D from scratch and to scale to test our colors and proportions. The perspective, by the way, we'll be drawing is called bird's eye view, which is like the best perspective if you want to see the entire color and design scheme of your apartment, of your space in one detailed view. And of course, I have a real life example for you. So once I worked with an interior designer who specifically requested that kind of floor plan because they didn't purchase multiple 3D renderings. And this is, by the way, the floor plan I created for them. As far as I remember, they already had some existing furniture pieces and they needed to purchase a few more, but they weren't sure how well they would go with each other, and this is why they needed like a super fast solution right now. Because imagine how many renderings they would have needed if they had decided to order them separately. Exactly. So see how iPad design and drawing actually saves you tons of time and also money, because those renderings are a little bit pricey, right? Alright, on to our second step. After we are done with our walls, the next step is to draw the existing interior design, which is gonna stay, and based on that design we're going to be testing the shelving systems, because like in the designer's case, I want to make sure that everything goes well with each other, right? So that the space doesn't look cluttered and all of these things. What I really like about this particular stage is that you're reconnecting with your inner artist, because you are the one who are drawing all of these things completely from scratch, and that brings you that undescribable satisfaction. I mean, I've been drawing for over 10 years and still during every single drawing I feel like a child, and this is how you'll be feeling too. You'll be feeling so proud of yourself that you're the one who is currently creating this kind of bird's eye view. Like if we're talking about the bird's eye view. Once we're done with the second step, the next step is to obviously pick the final choice, and then we'll be creating a super fast iPad sketch before moving on to our AI render. Why we need that? Well, first of all, that kind of sketch is gonna take you max 5 minutes, okay? We're not turning into artists here. The goal is to first hide all of the inaccuracies. Make sure, by the way, to take a picture of the space. Doesn't matter how beautiful it is, we just need a picture of that corner that needs to be redesigned. And based on that bird's eye view, remember where we were testing our colors and proportions, we're then going to create like a super fast version for our render, which we're going to take together with our bird's eye view into AI render. And the goal is to create that AI render of a 3D max quality, because without our iPad sketches, the results will probably be random. I've been testing also AI renders without my iPad sketches, and every single time I needed to rewrite those prompts. So I don't know about you, but I have more interesting things to do rather than sitting here in front of my computer. Okay, how else am I going to write my prompt in order to be able to create that precise render? I mean, that iPad sketch takes you around about like 4 minutes. I mean, it's super creative, super fun, and then it guarantees you that result. Because I've been receiving so many messages asking why my iPad render doesn't look like yours, why it's not precise. Well, because you're lacking knowledge in how to create those iPad sketches. Anyway, before I dive too deep into the theory, let's jump right into the practical part. So I'm going to switch to my iPad right now so that I can show you the entire behind the scenes here in action, okay? And this is where all the magic happens. The app is called Procreate, and this is where I basically design, draw, and develop all of my ideas and concepts. Now let me take you behind the scenes of how we create this kind of bird's eye view. Let's jump right in. Step number 1 is to import the floor plan of the space you want to redesign. The floor plan can be imported here in the settings. Step number 2 is to add proportions, because of course we want our drawings to be to scale so that we can make sure that the dimensions from our sketches match those in real life, so that we don't have any surprises or inaccuracies once we purchase the final design choice, right? And in order to be able to draw to scale, you're gonna want to use the drawing guide feature, and the feature is called 2D grid. I'm going to temporarily disable it, and I'm going to get back to our layers. Once you're done with your proportions, you're gonna want to move on to the walls. Remember, we erase our walls in 3D. Let me show you the time-lapse replay so that you can see in real life how exactly this approach works. Step number 1, the floor plan, as you remember. Step number 2, the proportions. And step number 3 are the walls, so that we have our space as a 3D box, so to speak, because when we have this kind of box, it's super easy to imagine what is gonna be inside, right? And then look, once you have your box, you're gonna want to bring in all of the existing colors and furniture pieces and choices to make sure that the box is prepared for your new design, so to speak, if that makes sense. I'm going to exit the time-lapse replay and show you the same process step by step, but now with layers. The walls are here. All of those are separate layers, obviously, for more flexibility. Then the dimensions can be disabled. The floor plan can be disabled as well. And once I'm done with my walls, I'm bringing all of the colors step by step. Now, it doesn't look like a flat floor plan, right? It's pretty understandable, and it helps us realize what should come to the left or to the right. Or maybe you'll come up with new ideas for your space because you see it from above as a bird's eye view, so to speak. And this is why this perspective is such a genius perspective, especially for small spaces, because when we create like a 3D view of this or that corner or a rendering, doesn't matter, we only see one corner, right? But this kind of perspective allows you to see the design as a whole. Remember, as I told you in the previous part of this video, the goal of this particular perspective is to see and test the entire color and design scheme. Now, the next step is to bring everything you want to keep. In my case, obviously, this gorgeous wall of inspiration. This is what I call it. I like to keep my desk. It's pretty big for the space, but I love it. Then all of the art pieces, they also remain the same. The lamp, and now I have this particular corner. This is how I started testing 2 different options. Everything is to scale, and I can see that maybe this one might look a little bit cluttered, right? Because the space is already small. I can't really move the desk because I need lighting for my videos. And when I also have like this huge shelf, it's like around about 2 or 2.5, I don't exactly remember its height, but it's gonna look a little bit way too heavy, you know? Whereas the other option, this one, yes, it's a little bit lower, a little bit less storage, but on the other hand, the room still feels a little bit airy, right? At the same time, I can keep my own artwork, which I also developed, designed, and sketched on my iPad as well. Like, my iPad is my powerhouse, this is my design powerhouse for all types of projects. And at the same time, I decided to test a few armchair options because I've been dreaming about having one of those for so long, and then I thought, if not now, then when, right? Also separate layers, and you have your final choices. And this is basically how you decide on the furniture piece, on the color scheme and everything, because the next step will be our AI render So far so good, right? If you still have any questions left, please make sure to leave them here down below in the description. And before diving into the AI render and how to prepare your design for that AI render to make sure it matches your technical requirements so that it doesn't look random and all of these things, I want to make sure that you download this guide I prepared for you. This is my brand new guide where I collected the most efficient techniques for our home renovation projects here. 10 of them are waiting for you inside this book. So this is gonna be your perfect first step on starting your own journey on designing and drawing on the iPad, with a lot of visuals, a lot of examples from my own apartments, from my clients' apartments. You're gonna love it. Get ready to fall in love with drawing. It's all I can say. Make sure once again to check out the description right below this video. The guide is waiting for you. It's free. And now on to the final step of our today's design process, which is drum roll, AI render. Here we go. But you're probably seeing something else here. You're seeing this quick sketch. What is that and why we need it? Basically, this is the next step after our bird's eye view. This sketch takes not longer than 5 minutes, and the goal of this particular sketch is to let ChatGPT, so we work with ChatGPT when it comes to those realistic renders. Yeah, what a surprise. To let ChatGPT know where everything will be positioned, because I've tested so many times my designs without my iPad sketches, and every single time the results weren't precise. Either the perspective was off or the design was off as well, and then I was spending way too much time on rewriting those prompts until I realized, why don't I actually use my iPad for that? For my particular corner, first I took a picture of it, cluttered with all of the stuff going on there, because I knew how to cover it on my iPad with my drawing skills. And this is why I'm so happy that you're watching this video, because you're currently learning my proven, innovative and invented approach in 3D spaces, which basically merges the flair, so to speak, that artistic touch of traditional drawing techniques with the power, flexibility and mobility of modern tools. Let's take a look at this. See, before and after. It doesn't need to be realistic or so, just, you know, to make sure the space is empty. And then we test. You just distort the furniture. That's all. Like literally a few minutes left. That's all. And once you're done with that, you then go to ChatGPT and look how the magic happens, starting from this to this and to this. All of that super fast, seconds and minutes. But it's so creative, so fun, so flex. I mean, imagine you, if, for instance, if you're a designer watching this video, you are with your clients, and not only can you draw, but you can also merge your drawing with AI without having that fear of being replaced. I mean, you'll be the one who will be replacing all of those with your skills. I've been doing my own home renovation projects with this particular approach for over 5 years. I've been drawing for over 10 years, and when I decided to actually draw my ideas, it was during my interior design studies, exactly when I was super frustrated with those computer renders, because they literally took at least a couple of weeks just to learn those basics. And not to mention how to create shadows and those realistic, oh god, I don't even want to start talking about it because it used to bring me so much stress. But drawing on the iPad is the opposite of stress. And at the same time, it also merges, you know, the creative approach with the practicality, so that you can make sure that you're speeding up your own home renovation or design process. And that's it for today's video. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope you are now super excited and inspired to also try to integrate this particular approach into your own workflow. And yeah, just let me know how you liked it, and in case you have any questions left, and I'll see you in the next video.